Hello, everyone. Welcome to our Resonance seminar. Here we go. Okay. We are now. Hello, everyone. Welcome to. We are live streaming. I'm going to share the link in a few seconds. This Resonance seminar is part of the IDE4X Erasmus Plus funded research. And today we're hosting Tomasz Bradecki, who is going to talk about AR model visualization. Okay, here we go. So thank you very much, Tomasz, for being with us today, and Ozge Ozguvanci, who is a PhD candidate and research assistant at the Faculty of Architecture and Design of Bodzygin University, is going to introduce our distinguished guest.
Can you stop sharing because, okay. Everybody. Tomasz Bradecki is a designer, lecturer, researcher, and PhD architect in Faculty of Architecture of Silesian University of Technology. And since 2009, he's a lecturer and researcher in the Department of Urban Design and Spatial Planning, and he's an associate professor. Since 2019, he is a member of the Silesian Department of the Architecture and Urban Planning Committee of the Polish Academy of Science, and he is founder of UrbanModel.org, author, co-author, and editor of several books and several dozen scientific articles in the field of urban planning and architecture in Polish and English, member of the Polish Chamber of Architects, co-owner of Studio BB Architects, designer of single-family houses, housing estates, and public buildings, winner and participant of architectural competitions. Thank you for joining us today, and the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. Hello, everyone. I'm starting to share my screen. Do you see the screen? Hopefully, yes.
Yes.
So we're going to talk today about augmented reality and how to visual models. And one of the things is the question how to work with big models, especially in education. That is one of my favorite things I like to do with students, not only designing, but also building models. And from time to time, you made them as physical ones, but if that's a large-scale model, that's a problem. So the question is how to work with them. And the obvious solution is to work not only with physical models, but also with digital models. And in that case, since several years, we have been using augmented reality. We have discovered that the two big models are too big to carry. Sometimes they need two big tables. The question is, can we take the model on site and locate it on site and to compare the model and the site itself? Yes, we can. But can we, for example, present for somebody the location? Where are we? The answer is yes, we can. Yes, we can. We can do it with augmented reality, and that's what I'm going to explain today about. In the meantime, before I will continue with the presentation and the videos, I would like to use your mobiles. If you could possibly install an application which is called Augment. If you'll use it, we can have a kind of exercise that it's free. It's in App Store and it is in Android. You can have it on Android. The name of the app is Augment, and this is the red white cube. Yeah. In the meantime, I will stop sharing the screen now. I will try to to introduce with a video, just to give you a taste what we are working with. Again, sharing the screen with. You should be hearing the music, right?
Yes.
Dzień dobry. Witamy na Wydziale Architektury Politechniki Śląskiej w Gliwicach. W tym filmie przedstawimy 5. edycję z cyklu Modele struktury miasta. Dzięki wsparciu naszych partnerów przygotowaliśmy wiele modeli, z których część możecie doświadczyć w rzeczywistości rozszerzonej, a także rzeczywistości wirtualnej.
Modele struktury miasta Gliwice to efekt pracy realizowanej w formule Project-Based Learning w 17-osobowym międzynarodowym zespole. Jej celem było przeprowadzenie analiz struktury miasta Gliwice wykonanych przy pomocy modeli 3D, rzeczywistości wirtualnej i rozszerzonej, makiet fizycznych, a także zdjęć panoramicznych. Skupiliśmy się szczególnie na obszarze dzielnicy akademickiej oraz Nowych Gliwic jako przestrzeniach charakterystycznych i rozwojowych w skali miasta. Zapraszamy do zobaczenia efektów naszej pracy.
Dokonaliśmy wielu podstawowych analiz dotyczących struktury miasta Gliwice. Wykonaliśmy modele 3D oraz makiety pokazujące m.in. udział powierzchni zabudowy, model Gliwic jako miasta 15-minutowego, a także modele wybranych przez nas przestrzeni publicznych.
Powstałe modele są dostępne w rzeczywistości wirtualnej i rozszerzonej. Po zaskanowaniu kodów QR przeniesiemy się do aplikacji Augment oraz Sketchfab, gdzie możemy doświadczyć wybranych gliwickich lokalizacji z dowolnego miejsca.
Model udziału powierzchni zabudowy pokazał, że jej najwyższy współczynnik znajduje się poza centrum miasta. Jest on zlokalizowany na północ w okolicy dzielnicy Łabędy, a także na południu dzielnicy Trynek. Przyczyną takiego wyniku są zlokalizowane tam rozległe budynki produkcyjne.
W badaniu komunikacji publicznej wyszczególniono 3 istotne punkty o największym zagęszczeniu przystanku: dworzec z Placem Piastów, rynek oraz okolice szpitala miejskiego. Wyszczególnione fragmenty znajdują się w zasięgu 250 do 1000 metrów pieszego dojścia do najbliższego przystanku. Jest to trend wpisujący się w ideę miasta 15-minutowego, którego koncepcja polega na lokalizacji podstawowych usług w odległości 15 minut dojścia pieszego od miejsca zamieszkania.
W potrzeby opracowania wybraliśmy 6 przestrzeni publicznych charakterystycznych dla Gliwic. Są to Nowe Gliwice, dzielnica akademicka, rynek w Gliwicach, radiostacja gliwicka, park Mickiewicza oraz park grunwaldzki.
Pierwszy z modeli przedstawia Nowe Gliwice, czyli zrewitalizowane tereny po dawnej kopalni KWK Gliwice. Obecnie mieści się tam Centrum Edukacji i Biznesu, Nowe Gliwice. Kompleks składający się z 5 budynków, które zostały odrestaurowane. Jest on wymieniany jako miejsce o bardzo dużym potencjale i udanej rewitalizacji terenów poprzemysłowych.
Kolejny model przedstawia dzielnicę akademicką, w której dominują usługi służące uczelni. Jej sercem i kręgosłupem jest ulica Akademicka, która została przebudowana i zamknięta dla ruchu kołowego. Dziś Akademicką można uznać za reprezentacyjną aleję pieszą ze skwerem oraz atrakcyjnymi terenami zieleni do odpoczynku i rekreacji.
The aim of pedestrian flow analysis was to estimate how many people cross and use university during the day. The measurement was recorded on 2 consecutive working days in which the weather was almost sunny and temperature was normal. In the research, we categorized 4 types of users. As a result, most users are a student and high traffic time is noon. In the model, 3D lines represent people on flow. Some more lines mean high density in the area.
Następnie opracowaliśmy najbardziej charakterystyczne punkty miasta: rynek oraz radiostację, czyli najwyższy istniejący budynek w konstrukcji drewnianej w Europie.
Później zajęliśmy się terenami zieleni, czyli Parkiem Mickiewicza oraz Parkiem Grunwaldzkim, który zawiera wiele kompozycji zieleni wpisanych do rejestru zabytków województwa śląskiego. Zalicza się do niego także wieża ciśnień. Opracowanie modeli struktury miasta Gliwice dostarczyło nam wielu ciekawych i nowych doświadczeń oraz pozwoliło nam rozwinąć nasze umiejętności oraz pracę w grupie. Mamy nadzieję, że przygotowane przez nas modele oraz makiety będą służyły szerokiemu gronu odbiorców.
So, this was the introductory film, video that was made by students. And actually that was one of the best experiences that I ever had with a student. You should see the screen of the presentation now. I'm going to discuss about this particular case study we were doing with the students, the structure of Gliwice. For the first thing I can recommend, it's all in publication. It's in Polish and in English, so you can actually browse it and download it. I will put the link after the presentation. But nevertheless, the target of our meeting is the augmented reality, and that was one of the problems: how to attract students, to show them that the analysis of the city is interesting, how to make models of analysis of the city, how to use GIS and build models, not just making it, but using the models that are already exist in the internet. And we try to do it since 5 years, and each year we are developing it a little bit. But as you can see, the question is how to make it interesting to analyze the 3 things: being on site, building a physical model, and using the 3D model. And that's a graphics showing how we decided to do it. Last year we also used virtual reality, but there is one question: is analyzing of the cities, is it interesting for students especially? I would say no. Maybe sometimes it's even boring and they are not interested. That's why I decided to work with models. Now, if we begin with a very simple model, which is the population per statistical region. That's the case study of Gliwice. On the right, you've got the model, which is standard rendering. On the left, you've got a print screen from the application, which allows you to put the model in front of your desk. And what I would like to recommend you now is try to scan one of the QR codes, and probably you will be able to get to the model. Now, the one which is red is the link to the augmented reality application. And if you've got the application installed on your mobile, then there is an option of putting your model on a flat surface. I see that Zeynep is trying to do that.
Yes, I managed to locate it.
So probably you have this model in front of you on your desk, possibly.
Yes, I have.
Professor Kamis asked me to make it really real. So you cannot find a flat surface, Alessandro. You need to first, when you you did it.
It's working, it's working.
Okay, it's working. As you can see, this model is not really interesting, but I chose this one because this one is really, really light and easy. Yeah. Shall we carry on? Now, if we want something more developed, more interesting, this is an analysis of the city of Gliwice, which shows the Kevin Lynch methodology. We have used the 3D model of the buildings of the city, I guess, and some of the paths, nodes, district edges, and landmarks have been modeled by students. That's their interpretation of the Gliwice city that we really have. I see you're using the application, so probably you can see it, you can touch it. But the best thing of the augmented reality is that it's so interactive, right? Augmented reality originally was developed for selling. It's very often used in the shops. to visualize very quickly how one of the products can be put on the shelves and so on and so on. Also in museums, it's very good, for example, to visualize machines and so on. We are using that more or less to show the models, to make better contact with models. Now, what is my favorite, what I really like, is the public spaces. If you compare these three drawings, you've got the park on site in Gliwice. You've got the model of the park, showing trees and showing buildings, which is what was a physical model, but this physical model was built with the data gathered from GIS. Then we made also the 3D model, and the 3D model is showing the site. Now, the biggest, I would say, experience we had until today was the model of the Akademicka district, which is our university district, and it's quite large. Our faculty consists of, I would say, more than 20 buildings, a few hectares, and these we have, I guess we have now 15 or 16 faculties, but I would say that on the model you see now, we probably have something like 12 faculties. The length of the Akademicka street, which is the main axis, okay, it's sometimes working, sometimes doesn't working, is the length of the Akademicka street, which is the main axis, is the 500 meters. So to model it, it was quite complicated, but we wanted to deliver something to attract students, to show other professors, other foreign students, how our university looks like. And that was the aim. So we've got two models, one in Sketchfab, one in augmented reality. And that's the final result. I'll just give you a taste what is the comparison. So up there you've got the Rectorate building, and down there we've got the Faculty of Architecture and Civil Engineering. And as you can see, the best thing you can do with augmented reality is to take the model with you anywhere you want. We tried to put the model in front of the buildings and show the location. Where are you? In this particular models, we made some 3D text showing where are we, what kind of faculty is it, and so on. Obviously, the augmented reality has some limitations, and I will explain you a little bit about. But these are the examples we have been working with. Now, what I prepared now, I prepared several models, which I'm going to paste for you in the chat window. But before we do that, I will once again try to show you that something what I really like about this is that you can always deliver the model wherever you want. And this picture shows the augmented reality model next to the physical model, and that really works. This is, for example, the radio station tower in Gliwice. So the physical model printed from the same 3D model which was used for the augmented reality. So it's a bit of fun, and it's a kind of a wheel, because you can use the same model for printing, for augmented reality, for VR as well. And but the only thing you need a good team, and these are not all members, but in that case we had a group of 17 people. One of the students actually was Turkish at the time, which was really nice. He was really good. and we did it in a team. Now, that's enough of the presentation. I would like to get for you now the augmented reality panel to explain you a little bit about. Now, if you work with the augment application, then you've got an account and you've got your models listed. Once you will upload them, you can do whatever you want. For example, the Akademicka district is this one model. I'm opening it now. You can share a link. You probably can view it on your mobile now, but it's the same model you have been trying to touch. But you can actually browse the model in a browser without having any application, right? So, and we have listed here several different faculties just to indicate where they are. All university buildings has been indicated in blue. Now, if we get to the edit button, then we are getting something more complicated. The software is being developed, so there are many options. There are options of showing and not showing geometry. There are options of showing and not showing materials, probably option of showing the colors. But the most important thing about augmented reality is the properties of the objects and its size. This application has problems. You cannot use the exact size of the model that it represents. You have to somehow minimize it. And as you can see, the model of Akademicka Street has been rescaled to dimension of approximate dimension of 1 meter by 73 centimeters, right? Sometimes if you upload the model, it's too big or too small, and you have to test if it's possible to put it on your desk, if it's possible to magnify it, if it's possible to rotate it. So I think this is one of the most important issue, since we had many problems with different models of the size. Of course, you can use and put some information, and there are some new options. I don't know all of them because we are not really using that. We are using the augment application mainly for VR. I will just get back to the models. I will show you something different. For example, I'm sharing the screen or not? Now I'm sharing the screen. Okay, sorry, it stopped. Anyway, we had some fun with the radio station tower. I don't know about the exact size of it, but once you will put the model in the scene in augmented reality without the background, then it's very easy to put it anywhere. You know, it's like floating. But then you have to be careful with the dimensions. I think you see the object properties, the units, dimensions. Okay, yes. So it's a matter of testing it and using it, because with different models, different size will be good or bad. If we have a look at properties, you see the file extension. That was one of the questions from Professor Kamis. Well, augmented reality has some limitations. There are several types of file that you can upload. but we were using basically SketchUp. SketchUp has at least 2 formats that is accepted by Augment. Different software can have different options of exporting 3D models, and sooner or later you will find an option to produce. There are several platforms and applications like Augmented online, and it's just a matter of choice. You choose one, and then you have to meet and test it. Yeah. Okay, that was the presentation of the Augment. I also would like to show you the presentation of the Sketchfab platform. And the Sketchfab platform is, you should be seeing my screen. The Sketchfab platform is, I would say, much better for rendering and showing the models, because it doesn't have that much limitations. Also, it's a kind of open platform because you can download any model you see, as long as it's public. Download as a 3D file, and you can use it. So it's on the one hand it's good, on the other you put your work you have done and it's public. So it's a matter of your choice. But of course, we've got plenty of models here because it's 4th years we are working with, and we don't have the collections here. But I want to show you the Akademicka Street, which is here, which already you have seen. But what is interesting in the Sketchfab, it has much more options than Augment. As you can see, this is the same model, but the rendering, the changing colors and options like that are much better. And one of the options I really liked, and we use it, this model was used for the event which is called Night of Scientists. So all children with parents come for 1 day to each faculty for different events we organize. All faculties organize. Faculty of Architecture organize 20 events all day. It's for children, to attract children, to show the science. And we use this model to allow to show the orientation in the Akademicka district. So what is very nice, you click here and you can put information, right? So actually you can browse the model, and here we had different places of different events for this event. And that was really interesting. Sorry about that. That was really interesting because, well, in this case, you even can put a background. Sketchfab platform is used for games, also for Twinmotion software for rendering. I'm just interested what is in our faculty building. Maybe we'll get number 8. Yeah, the Faculty of Architecture. So there is a list of events, yeah, for that time. And this model was done only for this purpose. If you see the radio station tower, then this one is with the background, with figure ground. From time to time, it takes long, or even can be stopped, as we can see, if the model is too big. The trees are problematic because it has a lot of faces. But as you can see, you can get even shadows here. So that's a radio station. It's a historical building. One of the oldest, one of the highest wooden structures in Europe now. And so that's the place. And edit properties. What I liked about Sketchfab is that you can put description. People can comment, you can put tags, you can do different things. Also, even you now can download different types of models, right? So once it's open, you can use it. At the same time, you can edit the 3D settings. And here there is much more option. Our discussion and meeting is about augmented reality. And as you can see, there is an AR, VR button. But I'll just explain you why Sketchfab, in my opinion, is a little bit better, because it has much more options in terms of rendering, in terms of showing model, in terms of lighting, in terms of materials, post-processing filters, and so on. But you can use annotation, what is very important, and you can upload an animation. So it's like a video. Yeah, you can send somebody a link and he will see an animation in the video. But at the same time, there is an option of using that with the Sketchfab as augmented reality or virtual reality, which is something extra. As you can see here, you can very intuitive way, you can show, you can describe the scale, how big is the model and how you put it. The only problem is that with the Sketchfab application, which goes on mobile, really doesn't help to use the augmented reality with SketchUp. We have been able to do it only in several cases, and they were very simple models. It turns out that Sketchfab has many advantages in terms of rendering, in terms of showing this online, but augmented is much better in terms of putting it anywhere with the augmented reality on your mobile. So by that time, we have been using these two platforms, right? And what I can tell you is that by now we have developed more than 100 models in the city scale, in the building scale, in urban block scale. You never know how it's going to be working. Sometimes it's working just like that, and sometimes it's not working. Sometimes it collapses. So it's not that easy. And this year we are working on the metropolitan scale. We are trying to show the entire Silesian metropolitan area in these applications, and this is a challenge because they are very large files. And in my opinion, that's all what I can explain, what I can tell you about. I would rather answer your questions than talk longer.
Thank you, Tomasz. I have a question regarding the scale that you showed us in Sketchfab, the virtual reality or augmented reality. You know, you can adjust the scales. Just maybe it's very basic though, but do you upload the drawings in scales or as one-to-one drawings, so you can later decide how much to differentiate the scale on the application?
I think it's rescaled in both parts. So in the beginning, when you upload the model, you have the model somehow built in. It's not GIS model, which is one-to-one. As far as I have seen, the students make it in any scale, 1 to 1000 or something like that. But then once you upload it to the system, then you change the scale, testing it. Usually the best scale of the model for augmented reality is something between 20 centimeters and 1 meter. If it's too small, then it's a problem, you know. If it's too big, then it's very big. We were trying to do something like Labyrinth, that you put it very big, but then the applications goes, you know, crazy and it's not working. So the best thing, the most effective thing is putting the model on the floor or on the table. That's it.
Okay, thank you.
And I have a question. Which drawing softwares that Sketchfab and Augment works with?
Which drawings?
Drawing softwares. You said SketchUp, right? So you are drawing your 3D drawings on Sketchfab and Augment, or you are drawing on the softwares and then you are
You're
adding...
drawing on any software. So it can be Archicad, it can be SketchUp, it can be Rhino, it can be Cinema 4D, any.
Okay. So in this case, it is important for you because you are using for generally representation these programs. So you are giving importance to rendering issues, right?
Yeah.
Did you ever try the other drawing softwares like Blender, which is working with?
Yeah, Blender is very good also. Yeah, I know that students have been doing it, using it for that.
So does it change the density of the files?
Yeah, Blender is one of the best because it keeps the files small, and sometimes we have been using Blender for optimizing the very complicated models.
Okay. And one more question. Actually, I'm curious because I am trying to do my PhD on using AR and VR for the design process. Mm-hmm. So I want to ask you, did you ever try to use these programs to manipulate more on-site, not drawing on the computer and taking the model on-site, but also doing these models on-site by using the applications?
I don't know what you mean by using drawing the model on site. I think you've got two options. One option is the 3D scanning, and yes, you can do it once you have one of the newest iPhones. Only new iPhones has this option. They have a laser scanner and something like that. And actually, if you browse the models on Sketchfab, you will find scanned 3D, I don't know, sculptures or rooms or things like that. So it is possible. I don't know how about drawing this on site. For me, I wouldn't do it, but maybe there is an option. There is a way, yeah.
Thank you.
So what I can do for you, I can paste you the publication address.
I have a question.
Yeah, go on.
Thank you for the presentation. I was wondering, because this model's augmented reality is only digitally represented on a surface, right? So do you have any further intention to make it some sort of mixed reality? So to interact maybe with these models also physically?
I mean, mixed reality is the next step, and I would like to do this, but we have been testing it, and at the moment the Microsoft HoloLens 2 is the newest thing. But for the first thing is, it is expensive at the moment, The second thing, to make it, as you said, interactive, you need to start to be a software engineer. I mean, you cannot be just architects and and use it intuitively. Then you need to start a little bit of programming, and in my opinion, that's a kind of obstacle. I mean, I can learn it, but is that the target? Is that the aim? To start programming and things like that. And the mixed reality has been widely used with programming, for example, in medicine or in machines design and so on. But I think that requires many skills that me myself, being urbanist and architect, I simply don't have, and I don't believe that I will make my students using it. Yeah.
Okay. Just wondering, because there is ongoing interest also in mixed reality in architectural representation, but I didn't see any real life projects. So
we have been on that level that we would be buying mixed reality, but we have decided not to do it because probably we would use 10 or 20% of the mixed reality, nothing else. So I'm curious. I would like to try it. That's a good idea, but until today, it can be widely used, for example, with BIM, for model building and experiencing the model. But I have been using it for a moment, and it's not really that easy. And the comparison between the mixed glasses, the HoloLens, and the application which is on your mobile, as I would say it's comparable. Yeah.
Thank you for answering.
I got a question about Augment. So it's a 14 days trial, right? Do you have a pay subscription?
Yes.
And how much is that?
I don't know. We pay something like 30, 40 euros per year.
Okay.
And with SketchUp, we've got, I have signed an agreement because we are publishing and showing the name. We are using that widely. So they have decided to give us a free account because we are popularizing the thing in academic environment. That's why after some discussion, they decided to give us unlimited accounts.
Okay, I'm trying to create a model there, but I think it takes a while before it does process the whole thing.
Yeah.
How long does it take? It's a 75. There's a limitation 100 megabytes. And this one is 75 megabytes. So I'm not sure how long it's going to take to process.
It's done.
A lot of warnings. Let's see what it is. That is the famous Madeira hut.
But this is a scanned model, right?
This is a scanned model and without the texture. There you go. Because the file format, measure, size. So I just tried. This is an STL. What is it? Digital photogrammetry STL model that I had ready, because the other ones are too big. It doesn't take anything more than 100, but it works. Then how do I put this in a way that it is save and publish? Is it possible to save without publishing?
I don't think so.
Okay.
As long as you've got free account, you need to public. You cannot have. You need to be logged in, and you need to have. There are some limitations, but
And then how do I generate the QR code?
Once you will save the model, you will get a QR code. So you have to do the model public.
I have to put it as public.
Yeah.
Okay, whatever. And then where do I get the QR code?
Probably you need to get back to your accounts if you've got the account, and then get into the model again.
There you go. Okay, guys, you want to try it?
Yeah, you did it. It's not difficult as long as you try it. It's not difficult, but the small things are pretty much important, especially if you're using it. We are working with a group now on metropolis scale, and this is a nightmare at the moment because it's so big. The files are not working, but we've got an agreement with the Silesian Metropolitan office, and we are trying to make it work somehow. So that's a kind of challenge.
I think the one I created is way too big to.
Yeah, it's not working.
It's too big, right? Object transformation information. Tags, properties, object, other. Oh, anyhow, it does work. Thank you. I just wanted to try. Thank you.
Any more questions?
If there are no other questions, maybe we can share with the group what we have been doing in the scope of these immersive design technologies to include in the design process itself. So we are a part of an Erasmus Plus project group. So if I may, I would like to give you a brief information of what we have been doing very briefly. So this is the immersive design and new competences for the rehabilitation and valorization of the built heritage, acronym ID4X. So this is a co-funded European Union project that we have partners, Politechnica Warszawa, Centoform, AEEBC, Universidad de Madeira, Polish Association of Engineers, MORE, and the University of Ferrara. So the aim of the project, in a nutshell, is to digitalize and modernize the construction sector by updating skills and competencies, and especially in terms of the built heritage intervention, by the utilization of new digital technologies in combination of key enabling technologies, virtual reality, immersive interactive experience, and advanced 3D modeling. That's what we have been working on. Sorry. So the specific objective of the project is to upgrade and innovate existing training programs with up-to-date immersive design methods and tools for built heritage interventions, improving the effectiveness of teaching and learning through the application of an inclusive immersive design approach to the project. So a majority of the project is about teaching and learning, actually, and also increasing the synergetic use of, again, up-to-date technologies in an integrated way, with a teamwork approach and a personal development, and also increasing the cooperation among educational institutions, such as we have been doing with Professor Bradecki as well. So main outputs foreseen in the projects are, as you see, there are 4 outputs, intellectual outputs, as the aim of the project. The first one, comparative research on VR technologies applications for the rehabilitation and valorization of the built heritage, is finished. The other steps are in ongoing process, which is the training modules for immersive design experts, the digital training toolkit for immersive design experts, and finally report on pilot actions for immersive design experts. These legs are still ongoing. So the expected impacts of the project is the increased digital skills as well as transversal and technical skills. That also includes BIM, immersive design techniques, 3D models production, managing rehabilitation, recovery, valorization, conservation, and so on and so forth. So also innovative teaching and training approach methods and spread multi-stakeholder collaboration is one of the expected impacts of the project. And of course, eventually it's going to be an open source comparative research and training set to be shared by direct and indirect beneficiaries. So of course, the grant practices for the project management is also one of the contents of the project, one of the aims, and from the beginning is included in the project as well. And we have started late 2021, and hopefully the project is going to finish at the beginning of 2024. And we have, if you would like to visit the webpage, so we have published already on the webpage the comparative report that belongs to the intellectual output one. In this intellectual output one, we provided several case studies as Özyeğin University. If you like, you can scan the QR code here and see the video presentation of the case study. It's the Kora Church immersive experience in Istanbul, which included XR in cultural heritage, VR, and photogrammetry and immersive museum experiences, which is taken place in global extent. We also have another case study regarding the Galata waterfront, city walls and urban tissues, which was a workshop taking place before the pandemics, actually. We also have another case study presented as the documentation and immersive replica of Göbekli Tepe via digital photogrammetry, which we collaborated with another counterpart. And finally, we also provided documentation and preservation of Panagia Paramitia Church in terms of digital technology, using digital technologies and immersive technologies in documentation. And also another workshop to be called International Architecture and Archaeology Summer Schools, which one of the stages of this summer school was taken place during pandemic, actually. So it was very useful using those immersive technologies in terms of bringing together different parts physically. Yes. We have been doing these resonance seminars since December of last year. So we had several other guests about immersive metaverse, VR for design education, VR, art and architecture, and today's resonance seminar as IR technologies. So we will be having an online crash course on immersive design for building rehabilitation and valorization. It's almost all been set, and we recruited the participants also. This is part of the larger education that we are aiming at. So we're going to work on a mini version of this educational method to be applied. And these are all the modules that we have been working on in terms of providing this learning toolkit. This toolkit that is going to be a part of this educational template that we are providing. So we will be talking about immersive technologies and tools, digital survey and scan to BIM protocols, immersive technologies for design in heritage context, and for construction, operation, and maintenance in heritage contexts, then soft skills for successfully renovating heritage buildings with digital tools, green and sustainability skills, and finally, managerial and financial skills for digital heritage protection. So these are the titles that we are covering in our toolkit. So finally, we would be glad if you could take a few minutes of your time filling in the survey related to the IDE4X project survey, which is also shared in the chat box if you would like to contribute. Thank you very much. IDE4X in a nutshell.
Thank you very much. Please take 1 minute to fill in the survey. It's 3 questions. It's going to take 45 seconds to do that. And we need your feedback to improve the project. The link is in the chat.
Okay, I'll click the link. I will do it.
Thank you very much. Okay, do we have any comment or questions about IDE4X? I see Ayşegül Kidik. Well, welcome. And Ayşegül from Abdullah Gül University is going to present the next Resonance seminar, which we agreed to do in June. Did you get my last email?
Yes.
Okay, is that okay? Tamam mı?
Yes, it's okay.
Okay. Okay, so thank you very much. And Cheval Denise, haven't heard from Cheval. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Ozigin student?
Yeah.
Okay, let's hear from you. I need your feedback. What do you think?
Yeah, actually, it was a new workshop for me. Like, I haven't heard anything about immersive design. And yeah, it was a new thing for me, and I will keep coming.
Okay, stay tuned. Next Resonance seminar is going to be June 7th, right? And we will be announcing that soon. So, Tomasz, what about you? Final words from you?
I'm happy. Thank you for invitation. I'm curious what is the result, the final result of your project, and at the same time, I'm wondering why I am not in that project, because it's something that I am actually doing. So I'm hoping that the next grant, the next application will be common. Thank you.
Yeah, we should do something together. Privately, we will come.